Tales of Barbuzaar, the Roll Stone Story, an African folk tale from Nigeria. Once upon a time, there lived a very wealthy man who had so much gold, diamond, and silver. This man had everything one could ever desire, except a wife. His wife had passed away years ago, leaving behind a son whom he had raised all by himself. The years went by, and the wealthy man grew gravely ill, and when he understood that he would die, he called his son to his side.
My son Ajini, I have lived a long and fulfilled life. And now, it is time for me to go and meet my wife in heaven. The Lord has blessed me with so much wealth, which is now all yours. You can do with it what you will, but I would like you to promise me one thing.
What would you like me to promise you, father?
When you get of age and are ready to get married, go to my best and very old friend Adebola, and he will help you find a wife, a soulmate. A woman, the best mate for you, my son.
I promise, father, I shall do as you ask.
Soon after this, the wealthy man died, leaving behind all his gold, diamond, and silver. Time passed, and as it did, the young man grew into a very handsome man, and his heart began to long for love. When he decided it was time for him to get married, Ajeni fulfilled the promise he made to his father and went to his father's best friend, Adibola, to seek his advice.
I will fulfill your father's last wish, my son. I will find you the wife God has designed for you.
And so, his father's best friend searched high and low for weeks and months until eventually he found the perfect woman for his best friend's son. The young man was very happy to hear this. Without wasting much time, a wedding date was set, and so they began to make arrangements for a grand wedding. On the night before the wedding, Ajeni came to meet Uncle Adebola.
Uncle, I do trust your judgment, but I would at least like to see the woman I am supposed to marry before the wedding ceremony.
Ajini, my son, I knew you will come, and I was expecting you this evening. Listen to me carefully. The bride you are to marry tomorrow is in the guest house. I want you to go to the guest house, for your wife is in there. The door to the house is closed, and there is a stone right in front of the door. If you succeed in moving away that stone, get into the guest house and then you will see your wife-to-be. But if you do not succeed in moving away that stone, just walk away. For that will mean, the woman is not the one meant for you.
So early that morning, Ajeni went to the guest house, which was a great manor which had been built years ago by his father's ancestry. Walking towards its entrance with a lot of confidence, Ajeni peeped through the window and saw the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. She was singing, and her voice was very beautiful as well.
This is surely the woman I am supposed to marry. I am such a blessed man.
Heading to the door, Ajeni met a stone as he had been told. Its size was not impressive, so he shrugged his shoulders, confident enough he could move the stone, for he was a very strong man. Bending down, he tried to move the stone. He pushed the stone with all his strength and might, but the stone would not move, not even an inch. Ajeni then understood this was not the woman meant for him, and he sadly walked away. As a result, the wedding was cancelled. Months passed, and then one day, Uncle Adebola informed Ajeni that he had found him a new bride. Just as it happened, the first time, a wedding date was set. On the eve of the wedding, Ajeni went to meet Uncle Adebola.
Uncle.
Yes, my son. I was waiting for you. Tomorrow before the wedding, go to the guest house. Your bride is sitting in there. There will be a stone outside the door. If you can move it, you will know that woman is the wife God has chosen for you. If you cannot move it, please walk away.
So, that night, Ajeni made sure to eat and drink anything that could give him much strength.
This time, I shall surely push the stone away.
Early that morning, Ajeni went to the guest house, and as he was heading towards the door, he peeped through the window and saw an equally extremely beautiful lady who was playing a harp. Her fingers danced across the harp strings, and Ajeni knew she had to be the bride for him.
This is surely the woman I am meant to marry.
Eagerly, he bent down and tried to move the stone. On and on he tried, but the stone would not move, even an inch. Sadly, he went away and the bride was returned to her family. Months passed and Ajeni's heart grew heavy with sadness.
At this point, I doubt if I will ever get married. I do not want to die all alone without a wife just like father. At least father even had a son. Oh my Lord, help me.
After months of thorough search, Uncle Adebola found another woman and gave Ajeni the very same instructions the night before the wedding.
The woman you are to marry is in the guest house. Before the wedding tomorrow, go to the guest house, move the stone by the door, then you will meet your soulmate. But if you cannot move the stone, my son, please walk away. For that will mean she is not the wife meant for you.
Early that morning, Ajeni walked towards the guest house, a little concerned, with some fear in his eyes. He looked through the window, and the woman inside was equally very beautiful. This woman was sewing a quilt. This reminded Ajeni of how his mother used to sew quilts while he played next to her. This time, Ajeni fell in love with this beautiful creature.
She is surely the woman meant for me. My soulmate. This time I will move the stone.
Ajeni looked down at the stone by the door. Taking a deep breath, he bent down and tried to push the stone away from the door. He pushed with all his strength and all his will, but again, the stone would not move. Feeling desperate and lost, Ajeni knelt down and tears of desperation began to flow down his cheeks.
This is it for me. I will never get married.
And as he was crying and sobbing, he saw a silhouette from the corner of his eyes. Immediately, he looked up and indeed, it was the woman who was inside the house. She looked down at him.
Hi, how can I help you? I heard someone crying and I came out through the back door. Why are you kneeling down in front of the door crying?
I want to move the stone, but the stone will not move.
I will help you.
So, the beautiful Omotola knelt down and joining her hands to that of Ajeni, the two of them easily moved the stone away from the door.
Surely, you are my soulmate. My wife to be. A woman who can help me move the stone away from the door.
Are you Ajini, my bridegroom?
Yes, it is me, a genie. And today, you have made of me a happy man.
Finally, the grand wedding took place and both were overjoyed with happiness. As the couple was about to bid everyone their farewell, Uncle Adeboye came forth to pronounce his last blessings.
Finding a soulmate is great. Finding the best mate is important. But finding a woman who can help you move the stone away from the door and walk together with, that is what is the most important thing in life, my son. Because you have fulfilled the last wish of your father, prosperity and happiness shall follow you now and forever.
And just as Uncle Adeboye had spoken, Ajini's wealth tripled, and together with his beautiful wife Omotola, they lived happily ever after. The end.